autonomy, like the sort of robotic taxis, makes Tesla kind of like about a $5 trillion company. Optimus robot, I think, makes Tesla a $25 trillion company.
I think at the end of the day, Waymo will lead autonomous driving, not Tesla.
Let's just say you can't do that with a Waymo. All that and more. So let's get to it. Elon Musk spoke at the Future Investment Initiative over there playing all the hits. But just in case you missed it, here are some highlights that revolve around Tesla specifically. And as always, the full video is linked in the description.
Let's talk a little bit about AI, which is on the tips of everybody's conversations here. When we spoke last in March at the Abundance Summit, your prediction was that AI was increasing at a rate as fast as 100 times per year, and that by 2029 or 2030, we might see AI as capable as 8 billion humans. Are you still seeing that pace?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult thing to quantify exactly, but I certainly feel comfortable saying that it's getting 10 times better per year. But 4 years from now, that would mean 10,000 times better, maybe 100,000. I think it will be able to do anything that any human can do, possibly within the next year or two. How much longer than that does it take to be able to do what all humans can do combined? I think not long, probably only, I don't know, 3 years from that point.
Optimus, by 2029, yeah, that's going to be some serious capability when you combine large language models with the functionality of Optimus. Being able to think, reason, then act on that reasoning, we truly live in exciting times.
Energy is a point of conversation here. How concerned are you about providing sufficient energy for the growing hungry clusters globally?
I think things are currently chip limited, or they're not quite chip limited. They're getting to the point where they're limited by voltage transformers and installation, and they will become limited by energy. So there will be a tremendous amount of energy that's needed for digital intelligence and for also for electrification of transport. Long term, almost all the energy that we will get is going to come from the sun. One way to look at civilization is progress on the Kardashev scale.
We're just barely getting to one.
Well, we're far from
half.
Being. I think we might be close. I'm not. It's not clear to me we're above 1% on the Kardashev scale 1. Because Kardashev scale 1 means you've harnessed all the power of the planet. I think we've probably harnessed less than 1% of the power of Earth. Kardashev scale 2 is you've harnessed all the power of your sun. The sun is overwhelmingly the largest source of energy in the solar system. Everything else is maybe amounts to about a trillionth of the energy in the solar system compared to the sun. Safely less than a trillionth of all the energy is non-sun.
All forms of energy will be required until they're not. Maybe we can harness the power of the sun so efficiently we can abandon fossil fuels, but that is not today. That is probably not within my lifetime. All forms of energy are required until they're not. Ramping up energy production and innovation in the space needs to increase exponentially to keep up with our AI aspirations.
Elon, we have a number of national leaders, corporate financial leaders from the Middle East here. What's your advice to decision makers here in the room that don't want to miss the AI transformation, that will be part of the leadership of that AI transformation? Do they need to build their own clusters here? Are they partnering?
Yeah, I think there's probably all countries will have their own AI clusters. It's currently very difficult to actually build an AI cluster and have it run. It's not like just pulling a computer out of a box. They are currently very difficult to run. And you have to say, are you going to be training a frontier model? Because if you're training a frontier model, then you need a massive amount of compute and a level of technical skill that is only a few companies possess. But over time, I think every country will have AI compute clusters.
Simply a testament to Tesla's ability to build an AI model, have it run functionally in society. Tesla's moat when it comes to FSD? Yeah, it's fairly large.
Your prediction on the number of robots by 2040, humanoid robots to be specific, what order of magnitude?
By 2040.
Yeah, so
If you say like 2040, probably there are more humanoid robots than there are people.
on the order of
I'd
10
say-
billion. Yeah.
Yes.
And your price point on these humanoid robots? You're pretty good on pricing. Sometimes you're off on timing.
I'm often optimistic on timing, but although, the press will report when I'm late, but not when I'm early. For example, our Shanghai factory, we thought it would take about a year and a half, and we did it in 11 months. Our Nevada factory, we thought 2 years, we did it in 18 months.
Yeah.
Texas factory, 2 years, we did it in 14 months. So I've been early actually many times. It's just that it's just not reported.
Get 'em!
When I make a prediction, I try to say what is the 50th percentile likely, which means that half the time I should be wrong. So I'm not sandbagging essentially.
And price
From a
point,
class, yeah, the price point will be I think quite low, probably $25,000 for a robot that can do anything. Assuming we are on the good path of AI, I think we will be in a future of abundance. Obviously you wrote a book called Abundance, so I think you would agree that that is probably the outcome. Basically, anyone will be able to have any goods and services they want. The actual marginal cost of goods and services will be extremely low in the future.
congrats on the Cybercab rollout. Pretty extraordinary. Kathy Woods predicted it to be, multiple trillions of dollars of potential GDP growth and impact. Give us some predictions on when we'll see Cybercab, when we'll be ordering a Cybercab.
Unsupervised full self-driving, we expect to be working in the US next year. You don't have to wait for the robo-taxi or Cybercab for Tesla to release autonomy. We're currently expecting to exceed human safety levels in Q2 next year, and then substantially go beyond that thereafter. And so really it's just a software update to the cars to launch our self-driving network. So we expect to do unsupervised full self-driving and start that in California and Texas, around the middle of next year. And then, we have 7 million cars on the road. We'll have 9.5 million cars by the end of next year. And eventually we'll have a fleet of 100 million plus vehicles, and they'll all be autonomous. The Cybercab with no steering wheel or pedals, we're expecting to reach volume production in 2026. The actual launch of a robotic taxi, unsupervised full self-driving, is actually next year. Autonomy is here, is what I'm saying. All cars will drive themselves. This is a no-brainer, and they'll get to where they're 10 times safer than human-driven cars, which will save, past 1 million lives a year globally. Optimus starts limited production next year, 2025. Should be in volume production in 26. Will grow to, I think, ultimately be the biggest product of any kind ever. I kind of agree with ARK Invest and Kathy Wood that autonomy, like the sort of robotic taxis, makes Tesla kind of like about a $5 trillion company. Optimus robot, I think, makes Tesla a $25 trillion company. It's not even clear what money means in the future.
We end up in a post-capitalist society at some point.
Maybe a meritocracy of sorts. I'm thinking like a Star Trek Federation type situation. Interesting times, indeed.
You're really not that excited about Google, but I guess for fresh money, although you own it.
Yeah, if you're a self-respecting tech investor, you probably have to own it. And there's one thing about the Alphabet story I like very much, which is Waymo. I think at the end of the day, Waymo will lead autonomous driving, not Tesla, even though there'll be plenty of room for both.
Roll the clip. I really don't know how many times I've watched this video. It's a lot. Summon. More than a couple of people traveling? No worries, just order 2. Ordering 2 will more than likely be cheaper than ordering 1 from any other service. Need a safe ride after a night on the town? There's no better way to get about than with the Cybercab. With the personalization that Tesla provides, it'll be like your home away from home. And if you're looking to put a little junk in the trunk, well, let's just say you can't do that with a Waymo. In conclusion, the future is looking mighty bright for humanity. But more importantly, it's looking extremely bright for TSLA. In my personal opinion, I believe all the Wall Street analysts are seriously underestimating the progress of innovation in AI and robotics. Many people think that driverless ride-hail at the scale that Tesla anticipates is decades away. More robots than humans by 2040? Get the out of here with that nonsense. This lack of understanding, this disbelief in the progress of this technology is what's going to send TSLA to the moon and beyond. Granted, it might be a little bit later than what Elon has in mind, but it's definitely going to be earlier than anything Wall Street anticipates. Me? I'm going to invest right now. This is a multi-trillion-dollar company coming in at less than $1 trillion at the moment when it comes to market cap. So yeah, I'll be getting it in when the getting's good. Whether the stock rises or falls in the short term, I know where it's going to be in a decade's time. And that juice will be well worth the squeeze. That's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.